Fish people, Kenny E and the lovely Danny E with Danikin Aquatics. And tonight, as you can see, I'm a little jelly. She's got the better background because she's in front of the 240. So anyway, guys, tonight's guest is near and dear to me. He's a good friend. We are both on the board of directors at the Greater Portland Aquarium Society. He has a good YouTube channel called Natural Aquariums. He's my good friend, Ryan Brown. So without any further ado, guys, I'm going to go ahead and bring old Mr. Ryan up. There he is. Ryan, how you doing, bub?
I'm doing really good. I hope everybody else is doing well.
Cool, man. So we're going to start that like we always do. We're just going to do a rundown, say hello to everyone. First in, as always, was Mr. Griffin Fish Room. Then we have Fish on Tactics. We have Small Fry Aquatics. How are you? Chevy Fish is in the house. Hat Trick Farms. Good to see you, sir. Toronto Aquatics. How are you? Byron Bowman. And then we've got Catfish Terry's in the house. Good to see you, Catfish. Sean OTD. Hello, Mr. Shelley. The awesome mod Monica Lynn is in the house. Then, of course, Natural Aquariums right there. Muppet 929, how are you? Jesse from HD Aquatics. Good to see you, sir.
BTW Aquatics.
We got Jason with Redfish, Bluefish in the house. Scott Baker, how are you? Dragon Lair, how are you? Miss Candy Overhauls is in the house. Wow. Thanks for coming by, Candy. Indoor Fishing Inside. And that's everybody for now. So without any further ado, guys, like I said, this is Ryan with Natural Aquariums. And welcome to my stream, Ryan.
Hey, thanks so much for having me. You know, we met at the Greater Portland Aquarium Society, and you know, then I watched your channel grow quite a bit, over 1,000, 1.04K it says here on my screen. You guys are rocking it, and I'm honored to be here. This is my first live stream ever, you know, so please be gentle.
I thought you hopped out a couple here and there. This is the first one you've ever went on?
I never have.
Well, I'm glad we broke your virginity, Ryan.
Hey, it was bound
Be
to
careful
happen.
about what you say.
So anyway, BTW Aquatics, how are you? Mr. Fisher, how are you? Carol Bresno, nice to see you. And Mickey M, good to see you. The Zen Ginger is here. Good to see you, Zen. Sharon Miller, how are you? Chattanooga Ed, how are you, sir? Jason CYR, nice to meet you. All right, guys.
So I got a question. Why did you name your channel Natural Aquariums?
You know, first of all, probably it was honestly that an aesthetic thing. You know, it kind of sounds bad, I think, at that point. But you know, that I much prefer the natural plants and rocks and sticks and logs and driftwood and whatever, you know, to you know, plastic stuff and you know, the what do they call it? Clown puke apple. Mind. But you know, as it's progressed, and I think Ken did a little video and kind of introduced me, and you know, he said that, you know, we're both big fans of Lucas Brett's, and you know, it's become more than that, and it's you know, just letting nature take its course, and you know, just kind of going with the flow, so to speak.
So do you believe in no filtration and just letting plants take over, or what? How do you approach that?
I got a variety of filtration going, and maybe later, if the interwebs will allow, you know, we can cruise around a little bit and look at a couple of tanks. But you know, this tank behind me is a 125. I bought it off Craigslist. It came with a it was a done deal after I negotiated them. I'm like, hey, I'm a crazy aquarium guy. You have any other stuff? I might buy it. And they're like, oh yeah, we got this we got a sump in the shed, you know, for this tank and a pump, and I'm like, yeah, I'll take that. And so so this tank here, it's got overflow, runs a sump, and then, you know, I've got some let's see, a couple of canister filters going, a couple of sponge filters going, and a couple of hang-on backs going. Maybe only one hang on the back actually these days, and then a couple of tanks that have no filters at all. And yeah, I mean, it's kind of a scary leap to take, you know, to just unplugging or taking off that filter or taking it out of there. You know, the sponge filter got clogged up enough that it wasn't doing anything anyways, and you know, yeah, just go with it.
That's the way you do everything in life. Just get her done. Whatever happens, happens, man. Just roll.
So
with
how
it.
many tanks do you have?
I think I got 14 right now going. Yeah. Yeah, and it's not like a fish room. It's they're scattered throughout the house. A couple of them in the living room. We're kind of in my dining room type area now, and then a bunch more upstairs, a few out in the garage, and yeah, just here and there.
Nice. Got a couple more people that came in the last minute or so.
Nice.
So we've got Ed's Pick 'em Up Cichlids. How are you? We got Jay's African Cichlids. That was one of our big winners last week. Scott Becker's in the house. Big Easy's in the house. How you do, Big Easy? Pesalix, how are you? And I think that's it for now.
Oddball Aquatics.
Oddball Aquatics is in the house. Nice to see you, Haley.
And Multi-Tank Addiction.
Hey, Chris, how you doing? Then we've also got Jessica Taylor's in the house. Good to see everybody. So, Ryan, of all the fish you keep, what would you say are your favorite?
I'm sorry?
Of all the fish you keep, what do you think is your favorite one?
I think you know this answer, but it's definitely my clown loaches.
Yeah, I figured you would say that.
Got 10 of them right here behind me in this 125, and yeah, I love their personalities, their color, the crazy, laying on their side or laying on the back stuff they do. I've finally kept them long enough that that doesn't freak me out every time that I see them laying down on the job. And yeah, they're definitely the favorite fish I keep, for sure.
Have you ever had yours grab a little pellet in their whiskers and start carrying it around the tank?
Oh yeah. That happens almost every morning.
Yeah, we love to throw them in there just to watch them fight over it. Those clown loaches, it's a blast.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah, I love watching them eat. I feed them twice a day usually. Usually the Lucas Brett's edition color tropical granules at night, and pearl grammies, eat some of those, and then in the morning either some little pellets or shrimp pellets or something to snack on. And they're like little puppies. They grab it then take off with it and go
yeah.
And then a couple of smaller ones in there, and they're not quite big enough to grab it, so they'll sit there and chew at it until the bigger ones get back and steal it from them. So yeah,
cool.
A lot of fun to watch.
Dead Fred 821 says, "Wait, clown loaches lay on their backs?"
Yeah.
Yeah, on their sides is certainly more common, but yeah, I've seen them all the way over, and you see that white belly, sticking towards the glass or towards the top, and if you haven't had clown loaches for a while, it jolts your heart a little bit. Oh, what's wrong? And then you go over there to the tank and they hear you walk over and they kind of wake up and scurry off.
Nice. Hey, Chewy, glad to see you, man. I see you just came in. Same thing with DMC Productions. Big J Fish Keeping is in the house. Tiffany White, how are you? And then
Anthony's Fishy Friends.
Yep, Anthony's Fishy Friends is in the house.
Lumpy Dog.
And Lumpy Dog. And then, of course, Dead Fred. So
I was watching one of your videos, Ryan, and I noticed the guppy tank that you have in your son Trent's room has a different sort of plant, it looks like, growing across the bottom. What is that?
That's probably just a lot of Java moss that's in there.
I wondered if that's what it was, but it didn't really look quite like Java moss. It looked like a combination between Java moss and guppy grass.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just that tank I think is just an absolute miracle. There's 100 guppies in there and 100 cherry shrimp in there, and I've done like one water change in like 2.5 years on that tank. It just, I top it off, and I have harder water here, so that's something I want to say. I mean, I think people that don't have enough carbonate hardness couldn't get away with such a thing probably, but yeah, it's amazing, and yeah, it's every pretty much every week, every other tank gets a water change. So I certainly do believe in water changes, but it's been kind of an interesting experiment to run, and life is certainly thriving in that tank.
Well, it looks like we got a question here. It says, I've got two plecos that are 4 inches, and they both vibrate at each other. What does it mean? Vibrate, I guess that, are you meaning they're fanning one another, or Toronto Aquatics?
Maybe they're trying to show off for each other.
It could be.
Or
yeah.
warn each other. If it's two of the same sex, they may be warning each other, like, back off. Zen Ginger's in.
Hello, Zen.
And Punchy Paints.
Hi, Pam.
So how many tanks do you use CO2 in, Ryan?
Only one at the current time. There, I was thinking I actually built a little rig to split that CO2 tank off to 2 tanks, because that tank is right next to another tank. But yeah, there's on my channel actually, the one tank that I have it's a 20 long. There's a playlist on there if anyone's interested. That my son's in a couple of those videos, and yeah, we paint the background, and the whole setup's on there through about 5 videos, and it just I like injecting CO2 very slowly when I do. There's some people that will tell you that there's no fear of gassing your fish or anything, and unfortunately I've learned otherwise, that that is possible, and some of them lived through that process, and unfortunately some of them didn't. But yeah, it's something fun to play around with, but that I tend to stick more to the natural side of things, and I don't think injecting CO2 into the water is necessarily that. But if you like trimming plants, and making tons of them, then that's a good way to do it.
HC Aqua says, I've gassed fish. It's real.
Yeah.
Certainly.
Well, Danielle, if I messed with CO2, we'd have a problem. It would not be good. There would be some issues.
I know I've actually talked about dipping my toes in that particular water with using CO2. I've been a little scared of it. But I know eventually I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
I just have to work up the courage.
Yeah, you should try it out someday. It's interesting, and the first CO2 I ever did was just a DIY setup with some 2-liter bottles and whatever, baking soda, whatever reacts to make the CO2 and stuff. And yeah, I mean, a lot of the Anubias I have around this house right now, it was made during that time. This tank was just an Anubias growing machine. I've never seen Anubias grow so fast. It was really pretty incredible.
Tom
That's
Kelly
really cool.
Outdoors, welcome to the channel. Welcome to the stream.
So I enjoy watching Trent in your videos. He's got quite the personality, and really makes those videos very fun to watch. He's very engaging. I think you should definitely encourage that and keep that up. And I think it's really wonderful to see you and your son's interactions with the fish keeping hobby, and him being so involved and interested. And it's so nice to see a younger fish keeper coming up. It's just great. I'm so glad that you include him in your videos.
Yeah, he's a big YouTube fan, usually gaming videos and stuff like that. So he's always begging me to make more videos, and he kind of keeps me going a little bit. And
It's good.
sometimes I fight him out on no, this one you're not gonna be in. But yeah, he's gonna be happy to hear that, you know, that you enjoy that for sure.
I do. I really do.
Nice.
So, Ken, when you post this video tonight, you should make sure that we have the link to his channel included. His channel can be a little bit hard to find if you just go under Natural Aquariums. So I know it took me a while to figure out how to get to you.
Yep, you're not the first one that's told me that.
I put a link to it too when we
URL once, but it didn't seem to catch on. I don't know what the deal is. It's I don't know. It is what it is. You guys are giving me all this exposure. People find me, you know.
Well, I enjoy your stuff, so.
Cool. Thank you.
So were there any other questions in the chat?
Fish Fisher Miles, welcome to the stream.
So I hope we get back to Guppies here soon.
Oh, that would be nice, wouldn't it? I'm
Yeah.
missing my fish fam there, man.
Yeah.
I really want the plant sale.
Yeah.
The only-
For people out there, you gotta, you know, if there's a local aquarium society, I would highly suggest getting involved, because that's a lot of the coolest stuff I have, you know, around my house and in my tanks. That's where I got it. And yeah, I mean, the prices are incredible. And, you know, sometimes people are intimidated by, you know, certain.
Like, how much did you get that wild? You got a pair, was it 2 or 3 of the wild caught angelfish?
Angels?
Yeah, the Ultims.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that was a super score, man. It was 2 of them, and yeah, they're upstairs. We can, you know, maybe try to go take a look at them. But yeah, I was ready to bid. I can't remember, like up to $80 a piece on them or something like that, you know. And I think that was kind of about where my head was. And yeah, they started the bid at 60 for the pair. I threw my hand up and, you know, just held it up.
I wanted to bid against you, but like, let them have them, but I wanted them, you know.
Yeah, I was trying to make it clear, whoever bids, I'm going to outbid you. Yeah, I mean, I guess I made enough friends there that nobody did. They let me have them. So I just feel super blessed, you know, to have those fish. They're really cool.
Yeah, they're very, very neat fish. I like your video on them.
Well, thank you. Yeah, they're a little shy sometimes. They've been getting better. You know, I think throughout the years I've had some fish, you know, like some discus and stuff that are shy, and you know, I think you gotta train them to not be shy, to overcome that. You know, if you tiptoe around them and you know, never put the camera in their face, if you're trying to make YouTube videos or whatever, then yeah, they're going to continue to be that way. But you know, it seems like eventually they know who's got the food, and they come around.
Well, Natural or HC Aqua wants to know, how are those Apistogramma nigensi? Or I don't know how you say that.
I don't know how you say that either. They are amazing though. Yeah, Nigessi, I guess. Yeah, that's how. But yeah, I have 4 males, and yeah, they're pretty cool. I just love the different colors on there.
So one thing Ryan and I are spoiled with, we've got a guy in our club by the name of John that he basically brings in a bunch of rare Apistos and breeds them. So we get our hands on a bunch of super rare Apistos, which is kind of cool.
Yep. Yeah, I believe that's where the Ultim Angels came from as well.
Yeah, he gets some cool stuff, man.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Ryan, I'm sure that the group or the, you know, while we're on the stream here, they'd love to see those angels, I'm sure. So
Yeah.
why don't yeah, go ahead. I mean, like I said, if it counts off, then just come right back to the link and I can get you back on. But
yeah, I might come back. No, I couldn't.
Moonstone, hi.
How you doing, Moonstone?
So this is the one.
Dr. Fish, how are you?
Not many clown loaches out. Is Katrina here?
She's not actually. I haven't seen her yet.
Yeah. Well, one of these Grammys, I think it's that one right there, is hers, or it used to be hers. It's mine now.
Carol Braswell says, this is my fix since we aren't having local aquarium society meetings.
Yeah. Welcome to the meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's those Apistos.
Nice.
But yeah, I mean, like one fin is blue, the next one's red, the other one's yellow. You know, they're just incredible. This is kind of my, this 29-gallon tank. It's kind of just a big old community right now. I've been thinking about moving some of these elsewhere, or we got a little tank upstairs where I like to breed some stuff. So, you know, maybe it's some of those cherry barbs or some of those in there to breed them out. But yeah.
Jay's African cichlids, the Roseline Sharks are doing great. They're kind of back behind my head here somewhere. There they are. They're swimming by. So we've got like 8 of them now.
I love those Roselines. I've always wanted some of those. I've never kept any of them, but yeah, they're cool. They're beautiful, and yeah, once again, another fish that has a lot of different colors on it.
Yeah. Ooh, the Angelfish Tank.
Nice. Wild caught Altums, gorgeous fish.
Of course, it's not going to give me a profile view.
I
Oh, the other one's hiding there in the back. And a couple of black neons in here and stuff.
You use those as your dither fish?
Yeah, I figured, you know, it's just the angels in here for a while. This 90-gallon tank, it's a kind of a weird half hex sort of deal. But yeah, like I mentioned, they were shy at first, so yeah, kind of tried to use them as the dither fish. And
so you got a question from Dead Fred, wants to know, does natural imply using those buffered substrates?
Buffered substrates. Oh, like Eco-Complete or something? I'm not sure what a buffered substrate is.
Well, you had said that you had harder water there, so you probably wouldn't need a lot of buffering.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Like, yeah, crushed coral and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. My water has plenty of hardness in it that I don't have any pH crashes or anything. It's been forever since I've used my test kit. I don't know really where it is.
How you doing, World Aquarium Singapore?
And Priscilla MK Art, welcome. I see you're going to lurk, you said. Oh, see there, now there's a really nice shot of that Altum. Look at them, both of them right there. Oh,
Nah.
pretty.
So Chris of Multi-Tank Addiction would like to know how big those are, Ryan.
Let's see. You know, they're, I don't know, probably, their fins are so long. They got these, you know, streamers on them, but, you know, they're probably top to bottom. They're 6 or 7 inches at this point. They're definitely growing, you know, and they get to be like a foot top to bottom.
Yeah, I go visit John quite a bit, and in his living room, he's got a 200-gallon, and picture like a school of 20 of those guys. It's just amazing, dude, to watch.
Yeah.
Those are such a cool fish.
Yeah. Like I said, feel really blessed to have them. You know, that they're just so cool and so pretty. And this is my office here, so you know that during the day while I'm working, they'll they'll pop over here and beg me for food, and yeah, it's nice to just glance over 'em.
How you doing?
This willow high grow right here, I think
Wow.
that's something I got from you guys.
I love that stuff, man. That stuff can take over a tank, though.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just hacking it and moving it around. I moved a bunch over here, and yeah.
Yeah.
How you doing, Derek Rawl?
Thank you to World Aquarium Singapore. He says, I'm here to support your live stream and watch hours. Multi-Tanks Addiction says that they are going to get huge.
Yeah, probably. I hope so. Yeah.
They want to know what's Ed's Pick 'em Up Cichlids wants to know what size tank you have those in.
This is a 90.
Man, that's some good looking manzanita behind there.
Yeah, this is that's a piece of wood that I found somewhere. I don't think it's manzanita. It's hard to say. I guess it probably just floated down the Columbia River and ended up in my hands.
Oh man, DMC Production says I'm grilling a T-bone.
Oh.
Oh.
Chevy Fish says the angel swam through the drive-through and said, "Supersize me."
So Danielle, this is the tank that I do have the CO2 on. This 21
Okay.
here. Yeah.
So are those friccata rainbows?
Those are fricata rainbows.
Okay.
Good eye.
Well, I happen to really enjoy those particular rainbows.
Yeah, you guys have some too, don't you?
I did. They
Yeah.
have since passed away in that tank. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe they're just older when I got them and stuff. But yeah, I don't have them anymore right now. But I plan on getting some more.
Hey, honey, turn your mic down just a tad. I mean, you sound like you were screaming.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
But yeah, the CO2 I have in here is a little unconventional. I'm not sure. Let me see if I can get a shot. This is just a bubble ladder. And so I had this when I did that DIY CO2 setup years ago, and it's just been sitting in my fish chunk. And so as the regulator pops out the bubbles here, they go up this ladder, and I don't know if you can see, but they get smaller and smaller as they go towards the top there because the CO2 dissipates into the water. So
wow, that is cool. Moonstone, and we are so ready for a manzanita wood hunt soon.
Yes.
70-degree weather today would have been a good day, actually.
But that's if all the snow's gone up there.
I don't think it is, most likely.
Yeah. And no mountain lions this time.
that's a crazy story, man. I mean, I've been out in the woods around here plenty of times, and I bet they've been close, and I've seen tracks on dirt roads and stuff like that, but I've never seen one. That's kind of freaky.
Yep. So
What you mean? What you mean, Kim? Bring you some. You're gonna be going with. You can help us collect it.
Oh, I like her style. I was
That was
thinking,
pretty
should
good. I
ask
think that was
for
pretty
an invite
slick.
to this, but no.
When's the next hunt? Oh yeah, bring me some.
Yeah, give me some too. Put me on the list.
Chevy Fish says, "Cool bubble ladder." Yeah, I think
Thank
that's
you,
really
Chevy.
neat. I haven't seen one of those, so I think that was really cool.
Yeah, and I mean, there's a lot of different ways to diffuse CO2. This is what I used to use here. It's a little like inline CO diffuser, but this tank here, it doesn't run a filter. This is one of them that doesn't. When I first set it up, I had a hang on the back, on the side of this thing, and I don't know, rainbows, they do enjoy some flow, so there's that part of it too. But yeah, I don't know, I got tired of it, took it off. Everything's fine.
Well, then DMC Production says, "What is that? An aquatic abacus?" Kind of looks like one, doesn't it?
Oh, the bubble ladder. I'm a little slow.
So Moonstone says, pro tip from Alaska, shake a can of rocks, keeps bears off you. Got to work on cougars. I don't know. We were being pretty loud, and I did not think ever in a million years that a mountain lion would come that close to us. And it was actually kind of crouching down like it was stalking Kim and I. And so that was not good. I did not expect that at all.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to give you some of those Altums, man. Those were way too cool.
Yeah.
And Moonstone said, I almost typed I can go too before you said that. Ha ha ha. And no, we did not have our dogs with us. My dog would be useless.
Yeah.
Now, there was a time when our dogs would have been helpful, but all of our big dogs are down right now. They're all have passed.
Yeah.
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 And the little ones are really, really old and blind and everything else.
Yeah, I've been over there. I met them.
Yep. They're just old.
So Trenton's here, which is appropriate since we're looking at my tank, or his tank. I mean, sorry.
No, that's the guppy tank with the really cool substrate type plant in there.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes, you know, that when I mess around in there, there's duckweed on the top of this, so it gets trapped down there. So I don't know if that's maybe what you thought was looking a little funky, but yeah. And then
it just didn't appear to be Java moss to me. It looked a little different, like Java moss guppy grass. I don't know.
The color on this tank, and I think it's because those floating plants and yeah, this kind of moss wall that's going on in the back, but it's hard to shoot this tank. The color's funky.
And
we've done like the second most videos on this, the first most.
Yeah, I usually try to include Trenton in this. Danielle was saying that I gotta put you in more of my videos.
I heard that.
Hey, Ryan, Mickey M wants to know, what are the crypts in with the Epistos?
The crypts in with the Epistos. Yeah, I think there's just there's not a lot of crypts in there. Oh, there's a few in there. Yeah,
it's cribs, like cribensis.
Oh yeah, that's just a regular old male cribensis. I don't know, honestly, a lot about cribensis, but yeah, another Greater Portland Aquarium Society deal, and yeah, I think he was probably $2, and yeah, he's got the cutest little face, And so here's my Fahaka puffer, Betty.
Biggie support group says, I'm still here. That's good. That's good. And World Aquarium Singapore, no, we didn't videotape the mountain lion, unfortunately.
Well, we videotaped that day, but we didn't videotape that particular adventure.
Yeah, it came skulking around the front of the truck that we had parked off on the side of the road. And then it was kind of creeping up on me and Kim. And Ken saw it, and Ken's like, get to the truck now.
Yeah.
And he's like, Danielle, drop the wood and really get to the truck. I'm not kidding.
Oh, don't leave the wood.
Well, I was trying to get it. I was told drop the wood and get to the vehicle. I could have used the wood as a weapon to fight off the cougar had it tried to attack me, but
yeah.
Speaking of that day, Kimberly Holtz just came in. She was the cohort in crime that day when we almost got nailed by the mountain lion. How you doing, Kimberly?
Oh, Betty. Oh, wow, that was a loud snap from Betty.
She's mad. I haven't fed her all day.
Yeah. So she's eating her left. So she's eating her dishes. She's eating her dishes.
She's eating her dishes. Yeah.
Yeah, World Aquarium Singapore says safety comes first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he agrees with Ken. I was thinking the wood. And Kim says, yeah, she didn't want to get in the truck. I kept arguing with him. Come on, it's going to be gone. It's going to go
Wow.
away.
Yeah, I think I would. I can act tough now, like, oh, you got to save the wood. But if I was there, I'm sure I would have been running away.
Everybody's loving your Fahaka. Moonstone says she's gorgeous.
Yeah, yeah, and you know, we named her Betty. That it's my wife's grandmother's name, and so we don't name a lot of fish, but Trenton always wants me to name fish, and then you know, but we don't know. As far as I know, there's absolutely no way to sex these. So yeah, she might be a he or whatever, but yeah.
Taylor's Aquatics wants to know how big she is.
So she's probably about 6 or 7 inch, 7 or 8 inches probably. It'll be interesting to see how big she gets, because the story on her, and I've only had her, I don't know, a couple months. I've got some videos on her, so if anybody's interested, they can go back and check them out. But
3 months.
the story on her is I saw her at the wet spot, and I've always wanted a Fahaka, and the story was that somebody turned her in, that they had to move or they couldn't keep her anymore, and that she was 7 years old. And I don't know if anybody knows anything about Fahaka puffers, that, you know, a 7-year-old Fahaka is going to be much larger than, you know, the 5 or 6 inches she was when I got her. And so I'm guessing, if that story's accurate, that she's severely stunted, but I think she's grown in the time that we've had her. So, you know, we'll see.
Chevy Fish says Betty is so active and pretty.
Yeah, sometimes she will rub her teeth against the glass and stuff, or the acrylic,
And we can hear it from downstairs. I said that.
So does it scratch the acrylic?
I haven't seen any scratches. I mean, there's a few scratches in this tank already, but they were already here.
This is a really old tank.
But I don't think she scratches it. But we'll see. Yeah.
Now Kaylor's Aquatic says she's stunted.
Yeah, I think she probably is. It does seem like she's grown a little bit since I've had her, though. So.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
I tell you, if anybody would be able to tell you the answer on that, Bob Kaylor is a puffer expert, I would say.
Yeah.
He has tons of different. How many different strains you have now, Bob? How many different types of puffers? I know he's got a ton, Bob.
Hello, Aquarium Thoughts. Thank you for joining us. Do you keep a snail tank or other mollusks to keep up with the Fahaka appetite? Dead Fred.
Yeah, I
wants to
feed
know.
her a few snails, a lot of krill. You can see all these like clamshells in there. These black mussels she busts up pretty good, and yeah. So, and yeah,
I'll tell you something else you should get is a self-cloning crayfish, man.
yeah.
Seriously. Oh my gosh, they breed like crazy. I have some if you need some starters.
Well, yeah, I don't think those are legal on this side of the river, unfortunately.
Hey, oh, are you in Washington?
Yep.
Yeah,
Oh,
they're not,
that's
they're
right.
Not, they're not legal there. Yeah.
Yep.
Sorry, I rescind my offer.
Bob
Well, I
Taylor says, I
appreciate
think I have 7 types of pufflers, but he put, I think.
So Chevy Fish wants to know if you've ever had to clip Betty's teeth.
No, and that's the idea of feeding her all this crunchy stuff, and even those krill and stuff. You know, she crunches on those. You can hear it outside of the tank. But and then yeah, you can. I don't know if I can get in there, but you can see her teeth, and you know, they seem to kind of morph around and change around and stuff as I look at them different days or different weeks.
Yeah, sometimes they have a little triangle cut out. Sometimes they have like 3 triangles.
Yeah.
They're morphing.
Yeah, but yeah, that's not something I would look forward to doing. But you know, if I had to, then to keep her healthy, then yeah, I would give it a shot. But I'm trying to avoid that for sure.
So Marlin Chaser says, I have a smaller Fahaka, 3 to 4 inches only. At this point, it's awesome to watch. Always begging.
Yep.
Oh, I see Rose Aquatics came in the house. Hello, Rose. She's the one who had that gorgeous crayfish I showed you the other night, Danielle, that purple and blue crayfish.
That was really pretty.
Nice.
Thunderbolt crayfish or something.
Oh, it almost looked like it'd been photoshopped. It was so pretty. It was just a great looking crayfish.
You said it was purple?
Yeah, it was cool looking. It's on Get Gills right now. She has it listed there. I don't know if it's sold yet, but
This tank's really loud right now.
Yeah, I did a water change on this earlier, and the sponge filter is being kind of loud right now. We're gonna have to fix that before it's bedtime, since this tank is in our bedroom. But
Yeah.
got some Praecox rainbows here.
And there's tons and millions of snails. Once
And
we
yeah.
put something like in there, I don't know what we
This is
put.
kind of my snail factory for Betty over there. There's
The
a whole bunch of them in there. Some of these, a couple of these beautiful long fin albino plecos too that going around.
Marlin Chaser 87 says, what should be the staple diet for my 3 to 4 inch Fahaka? Probably the size of my index finger, but fatter.
Did you see what that Fred, when he goes, did you wipe your feet on the mat when you came in the house? Did you hit that like button when you came into the stream? Just saying. That's funny.
So what
Thanks.
should Marlin Chaser feed his Fahaka?
Well, I would
What should be the
say, you
staple
know,
diet?
some smaller snails, if you could do like some little pond snails and stuff like that, and otherwise just meaty foods. It doesn't have to be a crunchy diet every time. You know, you can do some bloodworms, or if they'll eat, you know, brine shrimp or, you know, whatever. But yeah, meaty stuff, and then yeah, supplement with some crunchy stuff.
Nice.
So Mr. Fisher gave a thumbs up for the young man as knowing his fish. We need to talk about Trent.
Yep. Certainly not talking about me.
So Rose Aquatic said that they took the a crayfish off of Get Gills to give her time to breed more. Give him time to breed more.
So you guys got to tell me what's Get Gills.
Get Gills is sponsored by Dan's Fish,
Oh,
but
okay.
it's a place where basically people like ourselves, fish geeks that have, you know, overstock of fish, and he allows you to sell them on his channel, on the Get Gills channel. So,
Yeah, and so you can buy fish off of there, and you can sell fish on there and stuff. I don't know how all that works, but I've like Bentley Pascal's ordered some stuff from Dan, and he got some of his favorite rainbows from Dan.
Oh,
And
nice.
so, you know, so it's a great way to get some fish.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds pretty cool. Yeah, I've done very little bit of fish on as far as internet, and in fact, like it just real recently, I bought some fish from Lucas, some killifish. But yeah, prior to that, I've basically done no internet shopping for fish. You know, having our club and being close to the wet spot tropical fish store, you know, just haven't had to. You know, we're so fortunate to have access to those things.
Yep. Hello, Warrior Planted Tanks. Nice to see you. Thanks for coming in.
So Dragon Lair said, scroll back up to my comment, Danny. So
What?
Dragon Lair said that you should scroll back up to his comment.
Let me go up there.
My nephew in South Alabama caught a red and orange and blue crayfish last week in a stream down there.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
So pretty. I love the crayfish. I have the marbled crayfish that somebody gave me, and they're the self-cloning crayfish. They're all female, and they just make about 50 babies at a time. And you don't need a male or anything. They just self-clone. And but I think the crayfish are so interesting. I'd like to have more, but you know, it's kind of like more fish, more crayfish. You know, what do I
Yep.
want more? And plus, too, I've got so many fish that I want to try to breed.
Those crayfish, will they eat the babies? You
They
gotta
do
separate 'em out?
cannibalize each other.
They can, yeah.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, I have them all in a 10-gallon. So there's
Yeah.
not a lot of room for them to get away.
Uh-huh.
But I tried to put in a lot of hides in there. I put shells and I put rocks and different things in there. But I did try putting plants. But those little suckers, they come up and they clip the plant. They just go snip, 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 snip with
Yeah.
their little pincers. And then all my plant leaves went flying up to the top of the tank, and it was like then they were gone.
Yeah.
I was like, well, that was
Trimmed them down to nothing, huh?
right. It's like they didn't like him. Just snip.
Nope. I used to, when I was a kid, I kept fish as well, and I had some Oscars, like in a 55, and then I'd go down to the creek just below my house and catch some crawdads, and we'd toss them back or fry some up, or then we'd throw some in the fish tank and stuff too, you know, and yeah, they were cool
Yeah,
to have.
Kaler's Aquatics has some too. He says, oh, and Moonstone wants to know, has anybody heard from Eric at World of Wet Pets in Beaverton? Speaking of LFS, I hope that Biz survives the shutdown. Good and knowledgeable people. So I haven't heard, and I haven't gone by there recently. I guess I could Google it and see if they're open.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything either. That's being here in East Vancouver, that place is a little ways away from me, you know, so I've been there before, but not too frequently.
So Rose asking if she can post a pic of the Thunderbolt crayfish in chat. Yeah, do it.
Why not?
I don't think she can. She's not a mod.
Oh, I don't know.
But if Monica Lynn or one of my mods can find a picture of her crayfish, you're welcome to post it. Or Moonstone or somebody. You're welcome to post it if you could find it.
I got the night off.
You got the night off, Ryan. You know, and now I think about it, I don't see Cody's son tonight.
Oh yeah.
That's got to be a first. I don't think I've ever seen him miss a stream.
Yeah, he's usually here for sure. These are Mechasplendens, a Gutiid. So these are critically endangered fish. So that's kind of neat to keep something like that.
Yeah, Ken got me something that was similar to a Gutiid. At least I thought it was a Gutiid, but it ended up being a humpback liminia or something like that.
Lima, I call him.
Liminia or something like that.
Lima or something. Lima.
Zen Ginger says just post the link to get her Get Gills if it's her logo. I think she said she used it, or Ro used it as a logo. So Kaler's Aquatic says Limia, Limia. So if you want to look up that one crayfish, it's on Aquatic Arts website, Thunderbolt Crayfish, Cherex Pulcher.
Who said that now?
Rose Aquatics.
Oh, okay.
Look at all those clown loaches.
Yeah. That's my jam right there.
DMC Production says, Cody, he's in PA with me catching flagfish. Just joking, Kenny.
Uh-huh.
Chewy, yes, that's the correct name. That's what I wrote on the outside of my fish tank. And then they had a whole bunch of babies, and I've got a whole bunch of Alodia floating in that tank. And so they're hiding up in the babies are hiding up in the Alodia. I'd heard that they eat their fry. And to make sure that my tank was really heavily planted, and it's probably the most densely planted tank I have.
Good to give those babies a place to hide.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Man, look at this clown posse.
I'm
So
a
how
little
long are
jealous that you came up with that name, you know, or used that name, but I'm gonna let you have it.
So how big are the ones that you're showing us right now?
Anywhere from like 3 inches to 6 inches, probably. They are, you know, a lot of people are scared of clown loaches because you hear they can get to 12, 14 inches, and that's certainly true. They certainly can. You know, I think 9 inches is probably more typical, but some of them, you know, some fish are bigger than others, and but they take a long time to get there. It seems like there's little spurts that they go through. They'll get
I'd have
from
to agree with that. Yeah.
3 to 5 inches. They just kind of jump there. Then, you know, they go through little growth spurts.
Yeah. Ours all of a sudden got really fat.
Yeah. Yeah. I've seen a lot of like it in, you know, different places online and stuff, different clown loaches that, yeah, seem to get fatter than mine do. And I feed these suckers twice a day, you know, but they're so active that they get a lot of exercise too.
Ken thinks I'm being so cruel because I cut down on the feedings to once a day instead of twice a day because we were having longer time spans going between water changes on the tanks.
Yeah.
And I figured if I fed them half the food that I would have, the tanks would stay cleaner longer and they'd be more healthy. I don't want to go down less than once a day. I mean, but I did bring it down from twice a day to once a day. And Ken's like,
Yeah.
you're cruel.
Yeah, that's gotta be. It's a bit of an adjustment, but yeah, I mean, most of my fish, I feed once a day, you know, and yeah, I mean, if you miss a day or two, then I'm not even that worried about that, you know. But yeah, I do feel bad. I know where he's coming from, and I get it.
Marlon
Sure.
Chaser says those clown loaches are awesome.
Yeah, thank you so much. They are my favorites. I love watching them. They're hungry right now. Talking all this food. Probably throw you. I'm back down here. Probably throw you back on the tripod and throw some troppy G's in here for them.
Pretty.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, Ken, we've only got 7 minutes left. Boy, this is going fast.
Well, we always can go over too. There's nobody that ever follows us, so.
Isn't there?
Nope. We are the last of Sunday nights unless somebody has changed.
Where did
Moonsa says, I love this club/channel because we never run out of things to talk about. There's so much knowledge. That's true though, but I've noticed that about this whole fish fam. I've been telling my mom about the fish fam, and she didn't realize how close knit we all are and how we go to each other's streams and we all go into these chats and exchange knowledge and ask questions. And she's just like, I didn't know that you guys did this.
Yeah, we got some amazing people in the fish fam.
Yeah, it's definitely a.
Sharon
cool-
Miller wanted to know what that plant is he was showing.
Plant I was showing?
Yeah.
Danielle, hold down the fort. I'll be right back. I noticed somebody's left outside and they're going nuts out there. I'll take myself
Okay.
down.
I heard him barking. Can hear him barking
Have
way up
this
there.
thing pointed in the right direction. Can you see him over there?
Yep.
All right, good deal.
Chowing down.
Like I said, I'm new to this live streaming stuff. So the
plants and clown loaches is certainly one thing that I've had a lot of experimenting with, because much like your little guys with the pinchers, clown loaches will certainly shred a lot of different plants. In my experience and opinion, like pretty much all stem plants that are out, they'll just shred those apart. I've had them with like dwarf aquarium lilies that worked out pretty well, and then all of a sudden they decided, yeah, we're gonna tear those things apart too. But you know what I've really come down to, and most of what's in here is different species of crypts, and some of even those seem to work better than others. A little bit of Java fern and Anubias works good. So those, you know, less tasty plants, I think, is what you're dealing with.
Yeah. Jessica Taylor is saying, doing water changes and loving the stream.
Yeah.
Well,
Nice.
thank you, Jessica. That was nice.
Yeah, that's something.
Thank you, Multi Tank
I like
Addiction.
to do is do some water changes and listen to the stream, and then pop in every once in a while. And
I do the same thing.
yep.
Multi Tank Addiction says, you three are definitely tops on my list. Thank you. That was very sweet.
Yeah. Hey, Chris. Chris is from Vancouver, Washington, right?
Yeah.
Here.
Right up by you.
Yeah. I think he's on the other end of town. I'm on the east end of town, and I think he's over on the other side there.
Yeah, my son's over on the east end of town.
Mm-hmm.
He's just off of 148th.
Okay. Yep. Probably not
right
too far
from
me.
Yeah. Fish Whisperer Miles says, great fish fam.
Well, the problem was the peacock was out there again, crazy havoc with the dogs.
So yeah, we've got this peacock in the neighborhood, and one day it followed me right into my dining room from the back deck. It just came walking in like, hey, I'm here for the food. My dogs did not like that, let me tell you. But I gave him some food out in the front yard one day, and he followed me up the front steps and tried to come in the house. And I'm like, no, you have to stay outside. But that thing starts carrying on at like 4 o'clock every morning.
Yeah, they're loud, man.
They are.
And sometimes it sounds like a little kid screaming help.
Yes, it does. Yeah. It really does.
Crazy. Was it a male? Is it?
Yes.
Yeah. Wow.
It's male. Wow. So I was thinking about getting some peahens and setting them loose in the neighborhood just to see if we could get more peacocks. But I thought, I already get angry about that thing waking me up every morning. Why would I make more of them?
Yeah, probably not a good idea.
Yeah.
Hey, Ro, tell you what, we normally don't pull people up when we got a guest speaker, but if you'd like, I'd be more than glad to have you as my co-host next week, and that way you could show us around your fish room if you'd like.
That would be good. That would be really cool.
Yeah.
She has some cool crayfish.
Well, Chevy Fish says peacocks yell, help, help. They kind of do.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm going to eat the peacock, though.
You know, Dead Fred, I don't think that the tiger barbs are as bad as people make them out. They're not great for a peaceful tank, but we've got them downstairs in us. Yeah, it's not really a peaceful tank, though, is it? But
they're not. Well, but we got the green ones, and those green ones are gorgeous.
And they're not as aggressive.
I'm a big fan of those green ones. She has always wanted me to get those, and
they're so pretty. When they swim under the light, they're just amazing. I could just watch them all day.
Yeah, I remember Lucas's video with you guys, and yeah, he was pumped up about those things.
Fishy Biz, what's going on? If you guys haven't been to Fishy Biz Aquatics before, he's got a pretty great channel. He's a school teacher, about to be a school principal. Great guy.
Oh, I was just checking the little 3-dot thing to see if they brought that back, so I could go over there, and then I saw all these extra stuff, so I got excited for a second. Oh, it's coming back, but then I forgot I'm a moderator here, so that's why I see the extra stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
So you got the 3 dots now?
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, the extra stuff is, just the moderator stuff.
Right.
But I was excited for a second. Like, oh, they brought it back. I think
That's why I
another
always
stream
say it's
I heard
cool to-
that somebody was saying
How you
Nathan
doing?
there was
Boy.
all these
Hello.
streams where people just go back and sub each other's, and that's the whole purpose of the stream, and so that's why they killed it or something. But I don't know.
Ken James Lee's asking you a question. It says, "Hey, Kenny, Danny, and friend, just logged in. Kenny, what's the fish behind you, gold with the blue stripes?"
That is a Moda.
Yes,
And he, of course,
Modagensis.
the minute that you mentioned him, he bolted on us. But his deal is right now he has decided he's the new tank boss, so he's been going around letting everybody know he's the boss. So there he is. Is that the one you're talking about, James, right behind me now?
He seems awful feisty behind you.
He's been picking on everybody the last 2 days, so I think he's established himself as the boss.
Dan Slee's here.
How you doing, Dan?
So was Trent excited that you were going to be on tonight?
Yeah, he's been talking about it all week and asking me questions. I'm like, I don't know. We'll figure it out. And
Yep.
texted with Ken the other day, and got the details on how to do all this stuff. And
That's too fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
So-
definitely got to get him keeping on because he is so cute.
Yeah. I think he enjoys the video part of it more than the fish part of it. But obviously some of it rubs off. He knows more about fish than your average person, I would say, for sure.
Let's see.
No, James, I wouldn't keep him with your Africans if that's your question. No. Unless you plan on putting a 135 to 140 in your house there.
Yeah, the Africans are quite a bit smaller than that Moda will be. That Moda's gonna, unless you had like super big Africans,
Well, he
they
does
got kind
have,
of the attitude to go with them. But
he's got Venustus, so I mean, they'd go good with the Venustus. It'd be all right. But I personally don't like mixing the South Americans with the Africans.
see, now that's today he doesn't like to, but he used to mix everything. If it was aggressive, it went in the tank.
Now, Ken, is it you feel that it doesn't work, or you just like the aesthetics of keeping, the continent? Or what?
Well, I mean, with most of the, like my wife said, a good portion of your Africans aren't going to get to the size of a lot of the Oscars and the Modas and the Jags so I mean, ultimately, what she's referring to, there was a time I had a nice jaguar fish with a bunch of Africans, beautiful peacocks and all. He ate every fish in the tank. I mean, in a matter of like 12 hours. So I was like, wow. So I learned my lesson at a young age about that.
Yeah, I used to be more into the cichlids. You saw those apistos and the angels, of course, but that's about it for cichlids, and they're different, certainly a lot different than some of those other fish mentioned. I don't know, I got kind of tired of all that battling and having to overstock to spread out aggression and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
definitely some gorgeous fish, and I know some people are certainly into it, including yourself.
Well, I gotta say though, I'm surprised that I have a little cichlid. It's a little tiny cichlid, and I don't think they get very big. I think mine are still pretty small, but I got them through the Aquarium Society, and they're Nanochroma splendens, and they're the most beautiful little tiny cichlid. And I'm like, why are these not more popular? Why aren't these like completely inundated in the hobby, yet they're extremely rare? And
those are tough to get. Those are gorgeous fish, and
they're gorgeous.
Yeah, that's something I would certainly consider. And I remember them popping up there, and I was wanting those things as well.
Well, somebody was outbidding me. He was just gonna outbid me because he knew we wanted him, and he was trying to bid Ken and I up.
Oh yeah.
And so I just let him have them. And then we went and talked to the person who had bapped them,
Oh.
and said, "Hey, do you have any more that we could buy from you?" And so we made an arrangement to go buy the rest of what he had.
Oh, yeah, yeah. See, that's
So I
what
did get him.
Well, yeah,
I don't
it
remember
was
him,
Langdon. It was
Yeah.
Langdon. You know who Langdon is. Langdon. Am I saying his name right? Langdon?
I thought it was Landon.
Landon, that's it.
Like, okay. Yep.
But yeah, and they're such a cool little fish.
Mhm.
So I was just surprised that they're not more popular like the Apistos, and because for me they're actually about the same size as Apistos. And
Yeah.
so I thought, why aren't these more popular? Why aren't more people having these? Why aren't they breeding these? I just don't quite get that one.
Yeah, I mean, you could say the same about a Pistos, you know?
Well, I tell you what, John's
Yeah.
got some cichlids now that my wife and I both went bonkers for. We're hoping to peel a couple of from them when he's going to try to breed them, but they are gorgeous, aren't they, honey?
Yeah. Yeah.
Sure.
What was the name of those? I'm trying to remember now.
Which ones?
The ones that you freaked out, you were in front of the thing. What? I've been looking for these.
Oh my gosh. Those are zebra acaras.
Yeah, those things
And
were.
if you've ever seen those, they're amazing. And he has them. And I walked in and I went, John, is this what I think it is? And he's like, he rattles off the scientific name. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it is. I want these so bad.
I just looked them up on the computer here.
Yeah, they're really a cool fish, man.
Yeah.
Hey, how you doing, Nathan Fish Boy?
And Mickey M, yes, the guy who bred the Nanochroma splendens did say that he has softer water that he got them to breed in. But I literally have, I think, 4 different pairs with 2 spare females. And the water that they're in is about, I want to say it's 7.6 or something pH, but they're already trying to breed. They're trying to set up little territories and create nests. So I'm not sure if I'm going to have a successful spawn of them, or if I'm going to need to try to lower the pH in the water by maybe using some water from my dehumidifier or something. I don't know. I need some more tanks. Believe it or not. I can't believe I said that out loud.
You guys are crazy. But
I
love
know. I'm running out of rooms.
Yeah. Sometimes at 14, and I'm sure I'm not done myself, but sometimes at 14 or 12 or whatever I was at, I'll say some of the same things like, I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to do anymore,
So Dragon Lair says that he used to breed Nanochromis in the 70s and 80s. Now, why did you stop? Was it because there was no demand for them, or why? Did Multi-Tank Addiction just put up the scientific name of the... Yeah, I think it is. Ivanacara Odekida.
Yeah, I tell you guys, those things are really, really cool in person.
Yeah. And they're just starting to come into their colors, but the females seem to have their ovipositors coming down. And I saw that on like 2 or 3 of the females, and I'm like, what is going on? So
If I'm not, oh no, never mind. I was thinking of those Nanochroma splendens still.
yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Okay. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, like Bob Steenpot does like one of his favorite fish to keep with rainbow fish.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, they're always on the bottom, and the rainbow fish are up more mid-level swimmers, or to the top. And Multi-Tank Addiction said, yes, that's a zebra acara. That was the scientific name. Thank you, Multi-Tank Addiction. Yes, that's great, Chris. I should just say Chris.
Yeah.
So what he says that he had only, so Mickey M says my friend bred Nanochromis transvestitus, but only managed to get hatched eggs when pH was below 5.5 or so. Yeah, see, I'm afraid I'm going to have to get an RO unit at some point.
Well, John keeps telling us to.
I know.
I don't want to go to all that. I just want to enjoy my fish, man. Hey, how you doing? Aquariums maintained by Andy. Good to see you, my friend. Hey, where'd Ryan go?
Chewy said, and raising fry in soft acidic water is a lot tougher than hard water species. Yeah, John runs into that as well.
Sorry, guys, I was spacing off on his little clown school there.
Worldwide Tropical says, I'm breeding guppies, the easiest fish to breed. Guppies are good.
It took me forever to have that tank of guppies there. I mean, I've been fish for over 30 years, and that's the first guppies I've ever had.
So did you see what Dan Slee said? If you don't need a lot of RO water, just go to the grocery store and buy distilled water.
Oh, yeah, true. And then you mineralize it before you put it in the tank. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I've thought about doing that with just some like Cardinia shrimp and stuff like that. Never have, but considered it.
Says Danny, Nanochromis eggs won't hatch in pH above 6.5. I moved Danny, and I got rid of 90% of my fish. Oh, that was from Dragon Lair, because I asked him why he quit breeding them. Oh, that's a good idea about the distilled water.
You know, the other thing we were thinking about doing, Dan Slee, is we've got all these dehumidifiers kicking out all this soft water too.
Mm-hmm.
And rumor has it they don't have the copper in them like they used to, so we might try that too.
Dan Slee says that's what he does with his for his Caribbean tanks.
Distilling the water, to bring the water out of the atmosphere.
Yeah. Well, and I did test the pH because I was thinking about using the dehumidifier water, and then I asked John Fish, and he said the only thing that he would be worried about using that would be if there was like any funguses or anything that might have come from the dehumidifier unit. But might try it and just see, maybe do a little bit of an experiment.
Yeah, it might be a good idea to clean out the collection bin there,
Yeah.
it out, and then throw some prime or safe in there, and
well, yeah,
cycles before you start using it. I was going to ask you, is the water like is it clean when you pull it out of there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm visibly, I meant.
Yeah. And Dan Slee says, he'd put some activated carbon in the humidifier water first, just to be sure, which is that's not a bad idea at all.
Yep. Smart fella there.
Yeah. So
let's see here.
I was trying to get caught up on the chat. Moonso says, I like that the likes exceed the people on. That makes my fishy heart happy.
Yeah.
I don't even know I've liked yet. I'm going to hit it now. I'm going to hit it 3 times.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, and Chevy Fish says, just collect rainwater. That's what I do. Works great. Well, we do have a lot of rain in Oregon, usually.
Rain's not a problem in Oregon.
Usually. Although, you know, have we had a great spring yet or what?
Indeed. Yeah, it's been amazing. And yeah, there is enough moisture that my grass is growing like crazy right now. Cut it every 2 days. And yeah, it's just been gorgeous. I dug it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been amazing.
Feels bad for some areas that, you know, are not getting as good a weather. It's at least, you know, we have this kind of silver lining to the, you know, current situation we're in and stuff.
It's a multi-tank addiction says, Danny, thanks. I have a new bucket list fish, which is the zebra Akara.
Always got to have that next fish you're after, Chris.
Right. I know it's really terrible of me to say, and I know I'm probably going to be the most unpopular person in the world for saying one of my next holy grail fish, but I really want a red doveye.
Oh, wow.
I'm in love with them.
Yeah. You ever see that video Aquarium Co-op did years ago? A guy, I think he was up in Seattle area, had the huge tanks and with the doveye and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of my favorite videos, I think.
Oh, man. Cool. I love Andy Woods from Andy Woods Cichlids. He's got some red doveye. I was just looking at the update on those, but his doveye are just gorgeous as wolffish. Oh man, those are some of the prettiest fish. And yes, I know they need another big tank. So I won't probably getting anytime soon because I have Drogon, the Haitiensis, but yeah. So, you know, Dead Fred said that we should get a rainwater collection system and that it might be advantageous, especially considering how many tanks we own. Totally.
No, that rainwater is going to be super soft. No, or what do you got your speakers up high? Because I'm starting to get back feed on my end.
No. You told me to turn it down, and I did.
Cool. It's weird.
There, I turned it down more. Is that helpful?
There you go.
He's in the room upstairs.
I've heard that in the state of Oregon, it's technically illegal to collect rainwater. I mean, I think it's kind of silly, and I don't know if anyone can enforce it. And I'm not sure what you know, Washington's the same way over here, but I mean, it's ridiculous. You can't collect rainwater.
Well, I've got a big backyard. I mean, so I leave a couple of buckets out that I forgot that I left out. You know,
I forgot the buckets. Whoops.
I think what they're talking more about like commercial scale people collecting it maybe.
Rosa Aquatics says how to run. Bye, Ro. Thanks for coming.
What I always figured is that they're afraid of people drinking the rainwater or something, you know, that maybe concerns with that.
I don't know.
Yeah, Chris is saying the same thing. That's strange. I've never heard of such a thing. Can't collect rainwater.
Yeah, I heard it.
Oh, Kim's saying the same thing. Illegal here. I'll be darned. So I guess we won't be collecting rainwater.
Whoops, left some buckets out though.
So we'll go up to Ryan's house and leave some buckets up, and we'll pick them up once a week.
Yeah, that's what I need. A bunch of buckets in my yard.
Oh, dude, I only got like 30. No big deal. I'll put them somewhere you can't see them. You know.
Big deal.
Multi-Dig Addiction says, I say it's the states say they own the rainwaters, then you can charge them when it damages your property.
There you go.
Good call, Chris. Good call.
See you later, Jessica. Thanks for stopping in.
Thank you, Jessica.
Yeah, we should probably start thinking about it too. Ryan probably didn't want to sign on for no 2-hour stream.
Yeah, I don't mind that the cell phone battery has seen better days. So
Well, we
And I
can go
think
ahead.
my headset's gonna die too.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, I guess that's the clue. Now, I did have one announcement that I wanted to make to everybody. If you won the giveaway last week, I will be shipping tomorrow. However, if anybody knows Elaine Brown, she was one of my winners. She told me what she wanted.
I know
But-
her. I know her.
Oh, you do know her?
Yeah, that's I tracked her down.
Oh, I didn't even put that two and two together. Is that your
25,
wife?
26 years ago, I married her.
Oh my God.
And,
I didn't even put two and two together, Ryan. That's awesome.
yeah.
Well, I guess we don't have to ship that one far then.
Don't worry about it.
Right.
Yeah, she had something in mind, and I said, okay, you go ahead, set up a tank for it. And she's like,
Oh,
no,
cool.
that's your department. I'm like, oh well, maybe it's
Well,
my
that explains why we didn't hear from her. Her husband's on our stream tonight. So.
Oh, Killer Aquatic says Elaine stays at my place.
Oh. Basically, he's saying that he wants her fish. Oh, Bob.
So many different ways.
We'll see how she plays her cards.
Okay.
We'll talk after the stream, Ryan. So.
Dead Fred just puts a little emoji on there like, oh, that's so funny. All right. Moonstone. Manzanita road trip. Kimmy bring her gun. Ha 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 ha.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
All
well, we
right.
should let Ryan off of here. So, Ryan, it's been a pleasure. I appreciate you stopping in and helping us out, coming on live with us.
Yeah.
So, if you guys haven't taken the time, head on over to Ryan's channel, check him out. I do have a link in my previous video when I was announcing this. I'll also put a link in the on my channel as well for him, so you guys can find him easier. Anyway, Ryan, it's been an absolute pleasure, and hopefully we get to do some Greater Portland Aquarium Society soon, huh?
Yeah, I think we will, and if not, we got to set up something, virtual, something online. We can do all this. We can figure something out there, and I talked to Katrina about that a little bit, and yeah, obviously I want the world to get back to normal and us to get back to our spot and do our thing. And man, I just want to thank you guys for having me on here. It's been fun. I was a little nervous, like I said, never done this before, but had a good time and got to show off stuff. And
Chewy's already dropped your link to your channel right there, it looks like.
Yep. Yep.
So yeah, if you guys get a chance, check him out. He's a cool guy. You'll love his fish. So.
And thank you everybody for coming in, and love your fish.
Yep, as always, love your fish. This is going to be Kenny E and Danny E and Mr. Ryan checking out for now. I appreciate y'all coming. Have a great night.
later.
Good night.